At school, I was bullied by Francis Bourgeois.
No, you fucking were.
Yeah, I was. Literally savagely bullied me the whole week. I locked the door and I'm bleeding from the nose pretty badly. They're all like literally bashing on the door trying to get it down, all laughing at me. I was literally holding the door. I was going, please go away, please. Welcome back, everybody! I had a voice break.
Happy New Year!
Oh yeah, Happy New Year! And also, there's another call for celebration. Episode 10!
Is it?
Yeah, it's episode 10 of Bree's podcast.
Oh, okay.
Episode 10, the episode that nearly never got made.
Yeah, it
So
literally
getting
took like
fucking
3
cool.
hours to like get ready to record. But we're here recording, and I'll tell you what, it feels good because it felt like a never-ending nightmare when we weren't getting ready. But now we're ready and we're here.
You were washing up for 9 weeks.
Yeah, man, like 10 years I was washing up for, but we're here
Now you
regardless.
know how women feel after hundreds of years.
Yeah, now it's so good they're not in the kitchens anymore. That they're out doing what they want to do. No, we're saying it's good. No, we're saying it's good that women are now able to have the opportunities as everyone else.
It's good now women are allowed to step out the kitchen and.
I've got a feel for what it was like to be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a chef.
Is this us turning the corner?
Or folding laundry all day.
Oh yeah, no.
Is this
no.
us turning
Being
the
a
corner
slave.
in 2022 to finally being like not getting cancelled?
Honestly though, like
We'll never be cancelled because no one knows who we are. So.
I'll be honest with you, I do
The
like.
underground
Don't get me
podcast.
wrong, like I do like it, yeah. Because I'm not like the best like in the world at doing like the utility stuff. I do like a girl that does know how to do it, because if you're in a relationship and like a husband and wife, like, and one person knows how to do it better, it makes sense that they will do it, right? If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that could be a man or a woman, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying like it's not a bad thing if a girl's better than you at cooking or cleaning. Like
That's not a bad thing.
it's not a bad thing that they want to do it because they'll do a better job than you. Would you want to live in a dirty house?
I
Like,
agree.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree. Anyway, the first thing that I wanted to just get out of the way here, because I think this is what I can use as clickbait, as title, as thumbnail. So, this is true story, by the way. This is something that I think many people are going to find interesting. I found interesting. Now, but do you know the guy on TikTok, quite famous right now? He's the train guy.
No.
Francis.
Oh yeah, Francis
Bourgeois. Yeah, so funny, interesting story here and interesting fact. Now this is the tagline which I'm going to put in the coming up. At school, I was bullied by Francis Bourgeois.
No, you fucking were.
Yeah, I was.
That's
I was.
Cap.
It's fact.
Let's
Then listen to the story, okay?
Fill out the receipts.
Let me tell the story. Listen intently, but I'll also say is big respect to the man. Now you'll know why when you listen to the story. So, I was never really fully bullied at school, but there was this one week that I went through at school where I went on a ski trip to Austria.
Oh, we heard this story.
Yeah, but you didn't know. No,
a million times.
Please let me tell it.
Oh,
Please.
jeez.
No,
Yeah,
no, it's not the ghost. It's not the ghost part.
No, we won't.
In the 4
This is
months
like a big part of me.
like Francis has been on top, you never said, I went to school.
Because I never knew it was fully him until anyway. So
You
can
went
I
on a
just
ski
tell the
trip to
story?
Austria.
Will you guys listen and let me tell the fucking
Kept
story?
saying weird stuff, and they were like, but it wasn't really cool, so they were like, nah, we ain't fucking with him.
You
like,
hooked
nah.
up with Francis.
But we'll let him go with it. Go on.
Can you just listen and talk after I
Alright,
told the
go on.
story?
Go on
Because you're
then.
going to learn it. This is a revelation.
Alright, let's listen then, fam.
So,
Let's go.
thank you. So, I was on the ski trip, and one thing I never really said when we talked about it before, but this is what happened. I hated that trip because it was the only week of my life where I was just fully bullied by everyone. I had no friends on the trip. Like, I almost cried. They almost made me cry. Like, there was this one time.
What a pussy.
Anyway, I'll get into that actually.
What a pussy, man.
Can you just listen, please?
Alright,
I just want to like. I don't want the viewers to just click away.
Alright, go
you know
on.
what I mean? I've got to keep them engaged.
Alright.
So I went on a ski trip to Austria in year 8. It was 2014, and Francis Bourgeois. That's not really his name, but I know his real name, but I'm not gonna say it out of respect because there's a reason I have a different name on the internet, so I'm not gonna say his real name. But he was that's not Harrison Ellis.
Yeah,
It's part of my name, but it's not my second name. It's not my proper first. You know what I mean. So his name is completely different, so I'm not gonna out his name. But he was the year above me in school, and he was not like what he is now. He was very he was just like a popular kid. And if you watch one of his videos, you know.
Yeah, he talks about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's a joke.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, he was a bit like that. And anyway, I started off the trip actually getting on with a lot of people and stuff. But when I was young, I used to fight. I was confused at what people found funny and how you made friends. And I was trying to make friends with everyone because I didn't really know anyone on a trip. Like, I just made friends with them. Obviously, there was a lot of older kids that I had to share the room with. And straight up, you know, I would be doing annoying things, thinking it was funny and thinking, I'll just break the ice. Like, I would flick the light switch on and off, thinking, haha, it's hilarious, and they'll just think I'm funny.
You were acting up.
Yeah, and I was just doing annoying things. But then all the older kids, I pissed them off so much just for me trying to make friends that they all kind of turned against me. And then all the kids in my year, who I was friends with, decided, well, we'll be cool like them and we'll pick on him as well. And they just literally savagely bullied me the whole week. I had no friends. Like, there was this one time, there was this one kid, he came into my room, because, well, I shared a room with him, but obviously because I had no friends in the free time, I would just be in the room by myself all day.
Yeah.
So I was in the room, and, this one kid comes in, and he comes out, he goes to the toilet, he comes out, and again, I just thought I was being funny, so I was like using a coin to try and unlock the door while he was having a shit. I know, it's annoying, and why was I just thought, I didn't realise I was being annoying, I thought I was just being funny. So he comes up to me and he like clocks me in the nose, like literally punches me in the face, and I get a huge nosebleed. Now this isn't Francis yet. You might be wondering if it was him. Not yet. You'll see where he comes into it. And I get a huge nosebleed and I lock the door in the bathroom and all that. He goes around and tells everyone. Literally, all of them come in the room. Like they're like, I can hear them all laughing, trying to knock the door down. And I'm like,
that's
please,
really funny. They all come.
Bro, I'm telling you a story of how I was bullied here.
It's just the way you said they all come in the room.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, we can't.
They all come in the room. Right, so yeah, good go.
So anyway, I locked the toilet door.
You when I was about the female's energy, that's how I felt.
They all come in the room. Alright, go on,
I get respect them.
Go on, they all come in the room.
Okay, so but I didn't know.
Alright.
And I locked the door and I'm bleeding from the nose pretty badly. They're all like literally bashing on the door trying to get it down, all laughing at me. I was literally holding the door. I was going, please go away, please. Like, it was actually sad. Like, it wasn't. No, it was actually sad. Like, if you saw it, I know. If you saw it in real life though, like, it was actually quite sad.
Yeah, you're basically Peter Parker.
No, like, I was just like, anyway. And then the worst thing was this one kid's like, he literally does the perfect impression of our teacher that was like on the trip, and he's like, he goes like, oh Harry, it's okay, could you just come out please? And I really think it's a teacher, and I go, okay, and I open the door with blood all over my face, and they go, ah! And then tears were welling up. I slammed the door shut, and I'm literally like sat on the other side of the door, like keeping it shut, and I'm literally almost crying. Like, it was actually quite sad. It was the only time. So that week, like, it happened all week, stuff like that, but that week was the only time I ever fully experienced bullying. But I'm kind of glad that it happened, because it definitely, it's a good experience for me to see what it's like to be bullied and that. And anyway, Francis...
Wasn't that the story?
No, I'm not done, my friend.
Okay.
Listen.
Jeez.
So where Francis Bourgeois enters the story is he was on the trip and he was part of this big group of kids that were just savagely bullying me. Now, what I will say is I don't remember him specifically like going out of his way to do it by himself. I just remember him being part of the group, just laughing, pointing, joining in and stuff. Now, that's how I remembered him, as one of the kids that bullied me. And then, when I saw him become famous, at first I didn't realise it was him, because he looks so different now, like with his like style and that. And I swear I recognised that kid. And then I remembered, I was like, that is that. And I knew his real name, like that kid from school. And I told one of my friends from school, and he's like, no, they just look similar. I was like, no, it's definitely him. And then the main thing is, when my friend was unsure whether it was or not, it made me unsure, like, oh, maybe it isn't. But then he released that video where he's like, people found old photos of me, this is what I used to be like, and it showed pictures of him in the school uniform. And I was like, it was him.
What's his YouTube called?
He's called he's like TikTok. He's called Francis Bourgeois.
I'm gonna look at it right now.
Yeah, don't get the sound up though, because it will mess with the interfere with the thing.
Good?
So yeah, he posted that video, which made me realise, that it was him. But in the video, I'll probably like overlay it on mute or whatever. He's basically saying like how in school he just tried to fit in, and he would just follow the crowd because he was quite, he he wasn't sure, like, he didn't want to be himself because he was trying to be cool and he was, like, anxious and insecure in that way. And that made me realise that's why he joined in with the bullying, is because, you know, he wasn't that type of guy, but he was just following the crowd. He was just being what all kids do.
Peer pressure, innit?
What all kids do, just, like, acting the same as everyone else. And, you know, watching his videos now, like, you see how nice of a person he actually is. And I never, like, resented anybody from that bullying, because when you're kids, you don't have that level of, like, understanding in your mind that makes you not do that stuff. So I respected it.
No
and
excuse
then,
for bullying, though.
yeah, of course. But, like, as I said, like, he was just there kind of joining and laughing, but he was not, like, the bully. He was just there, probably feeling bad, but hiding that and just joining because he thinks that's what everyone else does, and he was trying to fit in himself.
But you know,
which is in a way form of being bullied.
Do you think Francis, like, would remember you now for that?
Like, I mean, he probably, if I bumped into him, like, he'd probably recognise me. Then again, I do look very different from school, but yeah, he probably recognised me. And obviously, if I said, "Oh, you remember that time?" Like, he'd be like, "Oh, you were that kid." Yeah, he probably would remember. But I think if we literally just fully locked eyes for the first time, I don't know if he'd fully recognise me, because I wouldn't have fully recognised him straight off. You know what I mean?
So if you passed him in the street,
we had a conversation. We would remember each other. You know.
You know what though? He seems like he's grown up, which is we all.
Well, he's finally fit into who he actually is now.
Yeah.
You know
like,
what I mean,
he's growing up, but man, that drip is terrible, bro.
I'm
just being real with y'all. I'm just being real with you, man.
Personal style is how you want to dress.
Yours is terrible, I could say. Couldn't I?
You could say that. That's your opinion.
For, like, dressing like a cowboy.
I don't mind. That's his opinion. You can have an opinion, mate. But I'm just saying, like, the drip is terrible, bro. Damn.
In your opinion.
Damn.
Yeah,
but it's what it is, isn't it? Like, you don't like my anti-Mabel
Sort it out, son.
You don't like my anti-Mabel t-shirt, but I think it's pretty fucking cool. So
it's better than dressing like Prince Andrew, Harry. It's better than dressing like Prince Andrew. Okay.
So anyway, I just wanted to say that I thought it'd be interesting. I thought it would be interesting to people to know what it was like at school. And I didn't really know him at school, but yeah, he was just like the standard like kid. Like, he was mates with all like from what I understand, he was mates with all like the cool kids. You know, he was like kind of roadman and that.
Roadman?
Yeah.
Well, just like Prince Andrew.
He was roadman, but that was because he just wore what everyone else was wearing, because he didn't know how to express himself. And obviously when he left school was when he didn't have to follow all these trends and have to copy all these people. And it's when he probably realised, oh, I can just be what I want to be. You know what I mean? And everyone was like that.
What's the famous word? You are what you would know.
You are who you choose to be.
Yeah, see.
So, as Goblin
in the words
said,
of Norman,
you are who you choose to be. You have everything.
Yeah.
It's time to choose.
Strong enough to have it all, too weak to take it.
Yeah.
I just want to be
too weak to take it.
I want to be the Hot Wheels version of Francis. That's the goal, to get to that height.
Just get some Hot Wheels and go, ha ha, yeah, and just, that'll be it.
Get gassed about it.
Just love it. Just show your true love for Hot Wheels. That's all you need.
There might be a Hot Wheels segment coming in this episode.
I'll never forget one time I was on a little trip as well.
Excursion.
Similar experience to Harry. And
expedition.
And I was getting bullied by females.
Really?
Right?
Females.
And like they were
like older girls and you were younger or something, or?
Yeah, of course, like, you know what I mean, but it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was bullying, but it was more of like
getting roasted.
Double checking it's recording.
It was more of like
put on blast.
I remember like it was
just like picking
for me,
on.
like it was hard because like when I was in like school and shit, like girls never used to rate me. Like I'd always be in a group with my boys and they would always like end up like getting with girls and I would be always the odd one.
Really? Also, I just realised why you got a mask on your face. I just realised.
I just think it looks cool. I feel like
it's your style, man.
Yeah.
See, that's it.
Well, no, it's actually got sleeve. It's attached to the hood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so like I was just like, yeah, it was hard because like I couldn't. I felt like I never really experienced bullying, but for me, when I was in those situations, I felt that pressure of like not being like fitting in and like. And all, like I said, all the boys like would be getting with girls, and like I'll be in a group, and then I'll be the odd one out and shit. And so like, but then you know what it did to me though. Like the thing is, it's funny because as I grew up, as I got older, like I started like gaining my powers, and like and basically like my inner Romeo started to come out. Do you know what I mean? And then
confidence.
It got to a point where like I'll be at a party, and I would be the one getting with a girl. Do you know what I mean? And it's like. And I got that strength, and it was like, you know what, like after that day, like, after that moment, like you are who you choose to be. And I realised I was on that path where I was like, you know what, like...
You went like this, you went... You did the side smirk that Norman does.
You know what I mean?
You know, I'm something of a shagger myself.
I'm something of a Romeo myself.
Yeah.
You know? But like, yeah, man, like bullying's not cool, man. Like you need to like cut that shit out, you know what I mean? Like, listen, some people are pushed to the edge when it comes to bullying. So like I just want to tell all the kids, if you ever watch this, whatever, if you ever bullying this call me, no, don't call me, but you message me and I'll be fucking at
DM
that school.
on Insta.
I'll be at that school, yeah, and I'll grab that bully by the fucking scruff of the fucking the scruff of the tunic.
Don't bully!
Scruff of the tunic.
Don't bully! You gotta go.
You
are who you choose to be!
Think!
You are who you choose to be!
Put your skull cap! Put your thinking cap on!
You have everything and nothing! I have nothing left! Not even a bully!
Strong enough to have it all! Too weak to take!
You'll be punching him and he'd be doing that smile that Norman does. Nah, but... No, I know what you mean though, like when you're young and stuff at school, like...
Yeah, it's easy to follow crowds,
well,
but don't do it. Okay?
There's like a scientific thing where it's like... I don't know exactly, but I read this a long time ago, but it's like there's a part of your brain, I don't know, like empathy, sympathy or something, that doesn't form properly until you get to a certain age, and I think that's why a lot of bullies exist as kids, because they don't have that part of their brain where they can emotionally sort of, I suppose, like attach themselves to the other person and see why they're, you know, why it's wrong and why, you know what I mean? So that's why you see it a lot in kids, but like, what I will say is...
And moves as well, they push the idea all the time,
yeah. But from that week I had in the Austria ski trip when I was bullied from like day 2 to like the last day, is if that happened to me every day of my school life, I can only imagine what that would have made me like you know what I mean? I can see why people kill themselves and stuff, because I think if I had that for my whole school life, that would have been horrible.
Because your school life goes on for like 10 years, don't it?
Well, like
so like
5 years of secondary.
If we're talking about secondary school times, you know, it's, as you get older, it's like maybe it's leading up to 10 years. Imagine 10 years of your life, fucking getting bullied, and that's just horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think of like, luckily, like I was in a school where like. It's well for my year especially, like nobody got bullied. Like it wasn't really a bully kind of thing. It was a lot of. Don't get me wrong. It was the year of like a lot of banter. Like you would get bantered a lot.
Then again,
you know what I mean?
What I will quickly add to that is, I bet there was kids that feel like they did get bullied, but you don't realise.
Of course, like you wouldn't realise. You know, but like I'll be
like banter is also a bullying a lot of the time.
But honestly, like especially our year group, we were so like very connected. Like it was almost a case of like. I can't explain it to you. We were very like kind of close, so it was kind of if someone was getting bullied, you would almost certainly know about it. But I'm not here to say nobody got bullied. That's not true. Probably some people did. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying like in some cases, in some schools, you would know about someone being bullied all the time when it would be very obvious.
If it was a big thing.
In some places, in some places. In other schools, it's worse than others. I'm just saying that from my experience in our, especially I was lucky enough in our group, like. You know, not a lot of people got bullied, or not a lot of people got you know what I'm saying. So, but I'm saying it does happen in schools, and if it does happen, like please, like talk to someone, your teacher, your family, whoever. If you don't want to talk to them, talk to a
Childline or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe not childline, but like
just talk to authority. Someone in authorities. Just do anything. Don't go through it alone, whatever the case is. Because
I feel like a lot of times is that the teachers handle it the wrong way. Like they show you these videos, but the video is just funny and. You know,
just talk to someone, innit? No matter who it is, but whoever you feel comfortable talking to, like.
Yeah. A lot of those like videos and stuff that's supposed to be like, oh, stop bullying. They're like
never works though, does it?
Mad out of date, and they're all like super cool.
I think the best,
especially a cyberbullying one.
Yeah, I bet
some old ass computer. Something
and it would be like guitar music, and you'd be like, I used to be a
some rock music.
Yeah,
it'd be like the piracy video, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like the OG piracy.
You wouldn't bully, would you? You wouldn't bully.
You wouldn't kill someone, so why would you bully? It would be like that. But no, the thing is, I was gonna say like I do have very like stand-up memories of like a few kids that were really nice people at my school that. I would say they were bullied, and I think maybe they might not say they were, but I remember what I saw, that there was this one kid that was actually really nice. He actually works in he goes to uni and that, but he works in a shop, like, I won't say which one, because I don't want to say who it is, but like, no, near where I live, that's what I'll say.
Oh, around here?
Yeah, so every now and then, like, we'll just have a quick chat, like, when I buy stuff in there, and he was definitely, like, I quite bullied at school, not, like, savagely, but everyone would just take the piss out of him for no reason, and I would always nice to him because I remember I felt bad for him. Like I was like one of the only people that he had friends, but like all like the cool kids just took the piss, and even some of my friends did, and I didn't think it was funny, and I was never the kid to join in. I would actually be friends with them and stuff like that, you know.
No, I remember like one time in school, like I think it was like year 9 or something. I think it might be year 10, whatever. And some girl like sent like pictures around, obviously, you know, back in the day.
Oh, that
on
happened at every
Snapchat,
school, didn't it?
and like
Yeah.
her nudes got leaked like all around the whole year, the year above. Do you know what I mean? The whole everyone.
That's the thing. Kids
and like I
so
felt
horrible,
like,
aren't
and the
they?
thing is like I felt I'm not gonna say the girl Steve, but I knew her. Like we grew up together. We had a little relationship with him. That's it. That's another story. But anyway,
another story for another day.
But yeah, like her shit went leaked around the whole school, and I remember like just thinking to myself, like at the time you don't think it's as big as it is because you're like, oh, like. I think I might have been one. Like I think I might have been one of the kids that like could like had seen them and not said anything. Do you know what I mean? I felt kind of. But now looking at it as an adult, it's kind of a bit like that girl's life could have been legit ruined. It could have. Luckily, it's not like she's like thriving or whatever now. But like it could have been.
I bet
like,
it did affect her at the time.
Yeah,
though,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Imagine that, like, you know, as we get older and we get more like secure about ourselves, a lot of people maybe we wouldn't care if like people saw it, but like at school,
that would
it's
kill
a
toxic
you.
place
Knowing
to be.
walking through school, knowing everyone's seen it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's crazy.
And being
like,
called a slag all the time and
it
poor,
goes from,
whatever.
like, nudes getting leaked at school, like from our age, and now people like having OnlyFans and shit, like selling their nudes for like £5.
Mate,
now there's a business out of it.
Well, if you make some money. Yeah, but it's crazy. Anyway, do you guys have anything else to say to that? Because there was a lot more we got to talk about today.
If you got OnlyFans and you're selling your nudes for £5, like,
Yeah, and no.
And you got
No,
500,
not even that. If
like
you're
50k people signed up.
If you're in
for it,
school,
like-
don't do nudes at all, right?
No, if you're under the age of 18, don't even think about it because you're gonna regret it, and it's illegal. You could get in trouble.
As far as like 20 plus, 21 years plus is probably like.
Well, if you're 18, you're legally
like,
old enough, and then it's up to you.
Yeah, but you
and listen. Why get nude when you watch porn? Yeah, think.
Why get nudes when you can just
watch porn, yeah.
like be with a person in real life?
Nah, fuck that. Watch if you don't want to be if you want to do it by yourself, yeah, watch porn. Simple as that.
Yeah, if you okay.
XX and X, that's what I recommend.
Just log into Fortnite, look at one of the busty ass.
Oh no, I'm not even lying. Yeah, they released a couple skins the other day, and they're actually thick as fuck.
You had a wank.
Bro.
I tell you what, I tell you something though.
The thick ash. Yeah.
No, I gotta say, when I just said you had a wank, to be fair, right? You know Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So that was this one time, right? I was down bad. It was Christmas, like 2020.
On a video
No,
game.
listen. Let me explain. There's this it was like a party place, like a bar. I had to go in there for a mission, or maybe I just went in there like a nightclub, and there was these cybernetic like cyborg strippers just like on the poles, and I was kind of on it at the time. I was like, fuck it. So I go, make sure I go right up to the character, move the camera up to look at it, and I just start.
What, right up at, like,
well, she was on stage, so I looked up, and then I was just there. I set my character to dancing like
was
this.
Was she naked, or was
she
wearing like a phone?
She was like a silver woman. Like, she was like she wasn't a robot, but she was like cybernetically advanced. She was silver.
No
she had like this
inside.
little tiny thong thing on.
And
she was like going like this and stuff, and I was just like...
The OG one,
you busted a nut?
There was definitely
two,
like,
actually.
There was that kid who definitely like busted a nut to like the strippers in GTA back in the day. Like,
we all did that. We were 13. We were down bad.
I wasn't allowed GTA at that age, so I couldn't have been.
I got it on the release. I remember my dad got it, and I played it at the same time as him.
What? And you were?
Well, not when he was there, but I snuck into the strip. We've all been there. You
picked up a prostitute.
Yeah. You drive into the strip club and you hear the. Oh, you know that song. You go in and you're like, oh, you're 13. You're like, oh my god. You're throwing the dollar like that.
If you've had a wank to a video game, yeah, honestly, you need to fucking sort yourself out.
You telling me you never you've not wanked to hentai before?
Oh, on porn.
Mate, do you remember? Like,
yeah.
I watched some animated porn before.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Games look more realistic.
No, because I've actually gone onto a porn website.
There was a massive like porn face that was like. It was like Pokemon Go porn, where it'd be like a guy pretending to play Pokemon Go, and then he'd go around the garden, and catch some girls dressed up as like Pokemon.
Man, you just catch a bitch and be like, alright, I've got you now. Why would you do that?
Man,
why would you do that?
There'd be in like the grounds of some mansion, and then there'd be some girl like dressed up as a Pokemon, and you like playing a Pokemon.
I know like Sniperwolf always dresses up as like Pokemon.
Do you hear what she did recently about the cancer patient?
No.
I saw it on YouTube, but I didn't watch it.
Oh, so basically it was...
She's getting cancelled.
Well, she probably won't, but it's controversial, you know what I mean? So basically what happened was she got contacted by the mother of like a Make-A-Wish girl. Like she was like, the girl is going to die, or she might even be, I don't think she's dead yet.
That's what,
I might be wrong, maybe she's not, but I think she's going to die.
Yeah, it's normally kids that
cancer. So she reached out to Sniperwolf, the mum, and she was like, oh, do you think maybe we could like set up like a meeting or something? And they were like, she was like, oh, I'm pretty busy, but like we can do a video call and stuff or something like that. And basically they were like, yeah, she was like, yeah, really down for it, Sniperwolf. And you know, a bit of time goes by, and then the mum's like, oh, you know, just no rush, but just would like to see an update. You know, what you saying basically, because obviously the mum's thinking, well, my daughter hasn't got long left, so it has to happen soon. And basically, Sniperwolf kept saying, oh, I'm busy, I'm this, I'm that. She kept basically pushing it on and on, blowing it off. Yeah, that just sounded weird when I said that twice. And then sorry, this is important.
It's not a funny situation to be laughing about.
No, I was just laughing at what I said because it was funny. And like when you laughed when I was talking about how I got bullied and you talked about coming, like.
Come on.
Anyway, anyway, the mum basically kept asking, she kept blowing it, she kept saying no, and then eventually the mum was basically like, listen, like my daughter's gonna die. Do you not even have like 5 minutes? Even if you, she was like, we wouldn't even mind just like or the girl wouldn't even mind just like a video message, like record like a 5-10 second video saying, hey, hope you're doing well, and just send it. She didn't even do that. Basically, all the DMs were like exposed, and from what it seemed to me, is that the girl, or Sniperwolf, she probably didn't think about the gravity of the situation, or she didn't care, who knows, and she basically just, she kept like pieing her off, she kept airing it, she basically kept saying like, oh yeah, like, pushing it back and forth so far back that the mum was in the end just like, and it's not as though forget about it.
It's not as though she's like got the most busiest schedule. Yeah, she's
that's YouTuber,
the thing. But like she's not like she can in those 5 minutes she uses that to start up a fucking YouTube video. Why not use those 5 minutes to send a message to go?
Or like what I mean, or whatever. In the morning, once you've got out of the shower, got yourself ready, you look good. Before you get to work, before you go off, just literally record a quick video and then send it, and it's done. You know, you think you'd have the respect just to do that for someone that's dying.
I do actually, and the thing is, like, I used to watch a lot of Sniperwolf. Because I used to like a lot of her videos and shit. You know what I mean?
Or when she was like gaming, or when she was like reacting.
A lot of her like, well, any of them really. I used to like, I obviously used to have a crush or whatever. But the thing is, like, that's a bit. Now I've heard that, it's a bit like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're either selfish and can't be bothered, or you're in a position where a little kid's legit gonna lose like his life on earth, and his wish. He's not asking for a wish.
It's a girl,
his wish is asking for you to have a conversation or a message. That's all he's asking.
Because it was like,
you know what I mean? And it's like, what? So you can't do a last man's wish, but you can. But you can turn up for a YouTube. But you can turn up for a YouTube convention. You can turn up for a fucking.
And you can make a load of TikToks. One day when they could just take the same amount of time to send a video.
Yeah, or you can turn up for a VidCon, whatever. So what? You can't turn up for a dying girl's last wish.
Yeah.
That's just fucking what the hell.
And she was like a huge fan. Like she watched all through her like chemotherapy. She was watching Sniperwolf to keep her happy. And
I can't imagine like the feeling of bringing someone into the world, loving that person, and then knowing that they're gonna pass away early, and that someone that they look up to so much can't even give such a small amount of time.
I saw another one, right? Of a guy who was asking for his last wish. This is, I guess you could say it's a bit more lighthearted, but he used to have a crush on his teacher in high school, whatever. I think he's like 21 now, but he used to have a crush on his teacher all throughout his childhood.
See where this is going.
And his last wish, and this honestly came out as true, it's facts, right? His last wish was to ask his former high school teacher to get some head, because listen, because in quotes, she's a throat goat.
Oh my god. This is like April Fool's or something.
Nah. Obviously came out, it was his last wish.
You think the woman like fully did
that? And they contacted the lady who worked there.
Well, like, hey yo, babes.
They contacted the girl who worked there. They contacted her, and apparently, like, obviously they're waiting confirmation. So she's clearly considering. But like,
she ain't got long to decide.
I mean,
he's finna die.
Yeah, but what's the fucking like length? So you could choose anything on your last wish. Clearly.
What would be my last wish?
The question for you two then is: imagine like imagine a teacher reversed that on you and was like, they knew you were 21 now, and they were like,
and they hit you
smash.
up.
Would you do it?
It would depend on the teacher. Well, it would depend. It would depend on the teacher. Like if she was like very good looking, when she was teaching me, she was in like 20s, and now she's just 30 something. Like probably, yeah. But obviously. Yeah, not if she had like a husband. Like if she was a single woman.
If she was 8-year-old.
No, if she's fit and she wants to smash, I would smash my teacher. Facts, simple as that. No strings attached.
Yeah, but if she was like
a man of honor, so it would. I would have to see the situation.
If she was like average looks, but it's her fucking dying wish, would you do it?
It's such a hard question. Would I have sex with somebody even if I didn't really want to because they wanted to and they were going to?
Because that's like that.
It's weird because it's sex, so it's such a weird thing. Like, I don't know. I really don't. Would you?
It depends. I could feel like.
What if they were like I'm not to be like disgusting,
if they were a teacher that treated me like shit through whatever year, then probably not.
No, but that would make me want to smash it even more.
Even teachers aside though, like somebody, let's say, I don't know, you throughout like for a few years or throughout your life, whatever, you kind of knew a girl, not well, but she was, let's say, again, not to be rude, but she was quite, she wasn't what you consider as attractive, let's say. She was quite, I'm just going to say it. She's really fat and she's really not like good looking. Like, I got indigestion, sorry. She's not, basically you look at her and you're like, oh no, but she's a nice person, let's just say. I don't know, or she's not a nice person, doesn't matter. But let's say she's going to die and for some reason she never told you, but she says, Cam, I've always loved you, always fancied you, my dying wish is to spend the night with you. And so what would you do?
Christ.
That's the real question, because it's like, you'd have to set aside the way you feel about it for that person. Would you do it?
That's so like, it's got so much gravity to that question. There's so much of like.
It would be the ultimate. It would be the ultimate selfless thing to do for sure. You'd be just giving to someone and getting nothing in return, except from not a nice feeling.
Can we just move on from?
Yeah, sure.
I don't want a conversation about death.
This podcast in like
you got Guy Fawkes, my guy.
Yeah, I found out the true story. So we were
talking about
when we were talking about Guy Fawkes. So I think it was Halloween or something similar. We were talking about Guy Fawkes and was he right? Everyone regards him as this terrible man.
Yeah.
I learned the true story, and what I have to say,
alleged true story.
No, it's documented. It's a true story, and what I say is, R.I.P. my boy Guy. I will never celebrate a bonfire night again because I respect you.
Clan, bro.
So
you can celebrate. That's what fireworks are for.
Yeah, but no, it's but they burn an effigy of him. They burn it because to represent him basically. So I get to celebrate.
The explosion of the thing is also to represent the explosion of Parliament.
Well, yeah. But anyway, can I tell you guys a story?
Yeah, tell the
it's
story.
An interesting story.
Go on.
I watched a 42 video about it. He's the best guy, man. Anyway, so the story is that during, I can't remember the year exactly. I'm not gonna say the year because I don't remember. But it was like it wasn't medieval times, but it was like between 1600s, like around then. I can't remember exactly. But the king. Basically, before this king came into power, there was a king, I can't remember who, and he outlawed Catholicism.
Wait a minute.
No, I know the story.
No, but you're saying in this Parliament times. So
I'm setting it up.
This would have been around like.
This was 1600s something, I think. So it was I class medieval times as like 10.
It would have been after medieval times because
that's what I'm saying. It was not medieval times.
Yeah. So it
was like 16 something.
Oliver Cromwell times.
Try to look up the year. Got a computer here. Why not? What year was Guy Fawkes? It will come up. 1605. That's probably when he was born or something. So yeah, it was 1600s. Now the story was so there was a king and he outlawed being Catholic, where literally if you found to have been practicing the Catholic religion, you would be literally killed, you'd be hung, you'd be whatever. And there was loads of. They all went into hiding, and Christianity was the main one, and they literally outlawed Catholicism, I think, Catholic something. So, the reason this new king came into power, I think he was called James or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he came into power, and for a while, his mother was a Catholic, so he thought, well, I'm not going to outlaw it. So he basically, brought it back and said, you can be Catholic if you want, do what you want. But then there was so much like outcry from the Christians, and then there was, because his mum was Catholic, the people started to question maybe he was Catholic, and because Catholics were hated on so much, he was like, I don't want to be thought of as Catholic. So he thought, oh no, I'll take it back. He basically took the pussy move, and he said, I take it back, it is outlawed. And he outlawed it again.
Basically didn't want the government to do all the time, but
basically he retracted what he said because he was scared of what the people would think.
Yeah.
Then again, back then,
started this shit.
back then, being scared of what people had to say, you could get killed. So, you kind of, there's more of a reason why he did it, because he was scared of his life, you know what I mean? So as soon as he brought that back, obviously Catholics went back into having to go into hiding, being killed, ostracised. Now, Guy Fawkes, it wasn't even the main guy of this whole plan. He was just the guy that got caught. So there was a big group. I can't remember all their names.
It was like
4 or 5 of them.
13 people on it.
Well, the main ones that we know of.
The last person sneaked them out, wasn't it?
No, not really. Well, there's many different theories of to how they found out, but basically there was a main group of, I think, 4 or 5 people. One was called Thomas. I don't know his second name. There was another Thomas. And there was somebody else. I forgot his name. There was Guy Fawkes. Now, all the guys, they are actually well-respected, well-known people. Now, maybe they were, they weren't Catholic, but they respected Catholics, or they were they were Catholics, but nobody knew, because they were well-respected and they weren't killed. So I don't know. Maybe they just wanted it back. I don't know. Or maybe they actually were using that reason to dethrone the king because of other reasons. Who knows? But they were well known. Now, Guy Fawkes, he actually was not very famous at all. Nobody really knew him.
His name was Gillies.
He was it?
Fawkes, yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
Gillies
yeah,
Fawkes.
Makes sense. They change it. Yeah. But he was an ex-military guy. He fought in wars and stuff, but he wasn't well known. He was just this guy that obviously probably was Catholic, and basically their idea was they were gonna take down the king, and so that the Catholic, they would basically take over the throne. And what their plan was, this never fully happened, but their plan was to blow up the House of Parliament, kidnap his daughter from this country house she was staying in, put her on the throne as like a puppet queen sort of thing. So they would be pulling the strings behind the scenes, and she would have no say 'cause she's so young. And then they would bring Catholicism back, and basically control the government and the laws and everything. That was their idea. Now, the reason they wanted to blow up the House of Parliament is because this king, James, he was terrified of gunpowder, because his father was killed in an explosion, and he had this really he had this whole sort of
phobia.
Yeah, kind of this whole unhealthy sort of obsession with the fact that he thought that he was going to go off the same way. So they were that. I don't know whether that was a good reason why they decided to do it or not, but they decided to do it under the House of Parliament because obviously every I think once a year or once every 6 months or something, they would do this Parliament gathering where the king would come, and it was originally going to happen on the 5th of May, but because of a potential outbreak of the plague, they had to move it on to the 5th of November, where obviously we know that date. So they planned it, all this time to plan it out, and they bribed people to be able to go under the House of Parliament, the cellar, to put all the barrels. And all this stuff.
It was months of preparation.
Yeah. It was it was a heist, pretty much. It was this huge thing, and we don't know exactly who was the one that gave it away or not. But a servant, received a letter from somebody in as we know the story, or as it was documented. He was a shadowy figure. Basically, just probably he put a hood up and he was covering his face because he didn't want them to know who he was. He gave the servant a letter, told him to give the letter to his lord. I don't know who the guy was exactly because I'm just going off my memory of the story, but we know who the guy was. I just can't remember. The guy who read the letter, and basically the letter said warned him. He said he didn't explicitly say what was going to happen, but he was I have because I care for you and your friends. Which basically means your associates. He's basically something. There's going to be, don't be in the House of Parliament on the 5th of November at this time. It's going to go out with a bang, or something around those lines. So he was oh shit, okay, this has probably got something to it. And he told the king, and then the king realised, oh my god, he focused on that end sort of. And not analogy, but that end sort of hint, and he was I bet it's gunpowder, because he was so obsessed with it anyway. So he freaked out. he had a whole sweep done of like House of Parliament. They went to the cellars, saw this gunpowder, all these barrels. They probably didn't know it was gunpowder, and Guy Fawkes was there, like tending to it.
Yeah, he was trying to blow it.
And like I suppose this was probably still a bit of time before it was going to happen, but he was like preparing and checking it all out, and they questioned him, and he actually got away with it the first time. He basically blagged his way out of it. He said, "Oh, I'm just the servant of," and like he gave like a pretend name or something, and I've been told to like check whatever. And they just let him go then. They were like, "Oh, okay, we haven't got any evidence, so we'll have to let you go." But, what he should have done then is he should have got out of there. As soon as he knows people are onto him, he should have gone. But what he did is, him and a few people, they stayed true to the plan. They were like, "Nah, we're still going to go through with it." And probably they might not have realised that they were onto them as much as they were, because then they would have escaped. But basically, he was there again. They came back, they arrested him, and he gave a fake name, and he gave the name. He said, "My name is John Johnson." So obviously they knew it was a fake name. So they arrested him. They like tortured him for ages, and eventually he gave up the plan. Guy Fawkes. Now I think one of them got away. I might be wrong. Or one of them survived, but the rest of them died, and a load of them decided, okay, instead now they know the plan. We're going to escape to Warwick Castle, and they were going to arm themselves there. And I think a load of Catholics, like they went up there, armed themselves with like muskets and all that. And well, I don't think muskets existed back then, but whatever sort of little. Well, they did have guns back then. They had like they had like a.
I'm trying to think when. Guns.
Yeah, maybe not. I'm not sure about that.
Would have been the very start of using.
That's
flintlock
technology.
I know it's not real, but Ezio has the hidden gun in Yeah, no. Did they have in Assassin's Creed? That's 1400 and 1500. They don't have guns until guns came about in like the 1500s. Because in AC Revelations, the guards have guns.
Look it up.
Napoleon.
When was the first gun invented?
Napoleon had all that gunpowder and all that shit as well. So that would have been years ago.
If they had gunpowder, that's how they used the original guns.
Yeah, but gunpowder would have come around.
1364 was the first gun. So yeah, they had muskets and stuff.
Really?
It was the handgun. Yeah. So they armed themselves basically, whether it was guns or not, I don't know, but they had all this gunpowder, and they armed themselves, and obviously the king, or maybe not the king, but his army, he sent people up to Warwick. He knew they were there to confront them, to basically end this once and for all. They fought it out for a bit. But then stupidly, like this was like the most dumbass thing to do, and I don't know why they thought they'd do this. Basically, you know what English weather is like it is now. It was raining, so it dampened all the gunpowder they were taking with them, because they were going to try and use that against. So it was all wet, and they thought, well, it's literally useless until it dries out. They can't dry out in the sun because it's still raining. So stupidly, they put all the barrels in front of a fire. Obviously, the fire ignites it, blows up the whole building. They get all fully injured. Thomas and whoever else is there.
Into human soup.
Yeah, one of the Thomases gets shot when they arrive there to basically because they've got no defense now and they're injured. And I think one of them burns to death, or he gets severe burns but he escapes, or they both get killed. I don't know. Basically, that's the end of the story. But the reason, obviously, Guy Fawkes was actually meant to be hung. But what he did was
he
was hung. But in the last minute, he jumped in a way that he knew he'd smack his head on the side of this thing and kill him instantly, and he snapped his neck and died before he could be hung. So fair play, save the pain.
There's stories that he's been quartered.
Maybe it was quartered then. I don't know, but he was basically meant to be killed. He was publicly executed, but he basically ended it quickly before he could be in.
But here's the thing: they think his plan failed, but did it?
Well, this is what I'll say real quick. Just to end off the thing, the reason people now obviously burn Guy Fawkes as an effigy and celebrate him as he's like the cover boy of this whole story is because he's the one that got caught, and he was the one that was tortured, and he was one that was probably documented the most when they were torturing. They were probably documenting it all, and obviously I think a year later, to celebrate the fact that it didn't happen, and as a warning to all the Catholics, they did this to say to the Catholics, you will not be trying anything again. Is they would celebrate every year the burning of this to symbolise how they failed. And then obviously, eventually, different rulers came about, and Catholics were allowed to, do their thing.
He also had the distinct features of what you found in the mask today.
Yeah. Well, that was the fashion of the time, wasn't it? Like the long moustaches and stuff. That was like the fashion.
But his version was very distinct. The way it was like.
Yeah.
That's why it's on a mask and it looks. But that's basically a guy for his face. But but I don't think it's. See, even though he didn't get to blow up Parliament,
it spread a message to the Catholics.
I still think his plan didn't fail because like.
Well, I mean, objectively it failed because he died and they didn't manage to do what they wanted to do, and Catholics were still persecuted afterwards.
True, but the damage has already been done. Like he was able to send a message to people that the government cannot be trusted, which has lasted till today.
Well, this is the thing.
The fact it's lasted hundreds of years, and still today we still be like, the government. We don't trust the government. It proves like his plan didn't fail because he's clearly put something in people's heads for hundreds of years now. But there's been a distrust divide between the regular people and the government.
Well, a lot of people though don't know the story and they think Guy Fawkes is a bad guy. A lot of people, like like even I did until the other week. You know what I mean? Like when you were saying he did nothing wrong, I was like, well, we don't know that because I didn't know and I didn't want to say because I did think at the time like, nah, I think he's a bad guy. Obviously you've got to question the morals. Like he was willing to kill people in the House of Parliament and there would have been innocent people there, but you can see why he wanted to do it because thousands of his kind were being persecuted and bad things were happening to them and they were innocent. So there was the only thing he thought he could do. So I think if anything,
eradicate the problem.
It spread a message to the Catholics, like people are still fighting for them and there's hope. At the same time, it also spread a message to Christians that Christians will always win over Catholics because they did. So you've got to see it in different ways, haven't you?
I mean, in today's society, like Protestants and Catholics and Christians are pretty much all under the same tree together now.
Nowadays it's a lot more accepted, isn't it? In this country anyway, which is good.
Yeah, but I think Guy at the end of the day, he
Gilly or whatever. Gillius.
Honestly, he was kind of an old-fashioned. Well, we're basically some people today are modern-day versions of Guy Fawkes because they're protesters. They go against the government. They all throw fucking. You know what I mean? You saw what happened was it in Washington where like they stormed the fucking Capitol, whatever, the actual government building. You know what I'm about?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and like they're going in, they're trashing the place. They're trying to.
They had less of a reason to do it though. Do you know what I mean? They were a lot more
Of course, but it's like...
I was going to say uncivilised, but I couldn't say Guy Fawkes was civilised.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's people are doing... without the stuff of blowing like a government building up, whatever, but there's people out there today...
And there are terrorists out there.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's people out there who are still doing what Guy Fawkes would do in a different manner, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, they're only doing these things because they think it's the right thing to do. They think they're the ones having to do it. You know what I mean? Nobody thinks they're the villain.
No, because you know why that is? Because in every movie, the government's always portrayed as the bad people and the people fighting against them are always the good people. Which, in a sense, I guess is pretty accurate.
I mean, there's good governments out there and there's bad governments out there. There's many governments out there.
How many movies do you see, even end of the world movies, where the government's always the bad person? But the people...
It's so easy to do that.
But the good people are always people like us and the people, the people, the normal
the rebellion.
The normal folks. Yeah.
Even like Star Wars, like with
Palpatine.
Yeah.
You cannot trust the people in charge.
This makes me think of have you guys watched the film that came out in December that was Don't Look Up?
I watched it.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Where all the stuff is a commentary on Trump's America and stuff like that.
And it's basically it's good. It's a good film, isn't it? It's good
and even then, again, it's like. Even though the bad thing is represented as the meteor coming down to destroy Earth, which is obviously the bad thing, but the fact the government could have avoided it and used their technology to disperse it or blow it up, whatever. Instead, they wanted to mine it and get material and resources for their own well-being and wealth. Is an accurate representation of what a government would actually probably do to gain. They'll do it for their own gain.
And they'll probably look at their own game themselves in the process.
Exactly. And that's exactly what they'll do in any situation. I just know they would. Do you know what I mean? They'll probably put themselves first before they'll put us the people first, but they'll never make out in that sense. They'll never give out.
A lot of government
representatives,
you know, make law to benefit themselves and to put society in a way that they obviously want. They don't really think you know. I'm sure there's some countries, or there have been, you know, politicians in the past or whatever, or maybe in the future one day, that actually do care about us. But you know, you see the majority of them, and you know it's usually for selfish gain.
Yeah.
Or for, you know, shaping the world in the way that they personally want, not what they think, you know. And I'm sure that's what they might think is what will better the world and everything. But yeah, it's a selfish game, politics, isn't it?
You just can't trust the government. End of the day.
Yeah. Do you guys? I remember you guys said you wanted to talk about stuff, and I don't know if you have or not. Like, is there anything that you guys?
Oh yeah. So like.
Here we go.
Is it still going?
So
yeah, we're still running.
How long have we been going for?
Only 53 minutes.
Oh, not bad then.
So like,
I guess there's a few more things I want to talk about as well, so that's alright. Carry on, my friend.
I went to London. We took a trip.
Yeah, how was it? How was the trip? I haven't really asked you about it, really.
Nice, man. Went back home. Do you know what I'm saying?
Did you stay with your brother, like, at his house?
Nah. I stayed in the hotel.
Near him, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it wasn't too far.
Whereabouts does he live?
I stayed in Croydon. Well, he was in Croydon too, but he was the other part of Croydon. But I wasn't.
That's where he lives, though, is it?
Yeah. So, obviously, I went down there, and what happened is, so I was in a hotel. Well, I was walking out, so I was staying there for a few nights, right? And I was walking back one night. I was chilling out in Croydon, having a little blaze, a little smoke. You know what I'm saying? I walked back in, so I was pretty high. After chatting up the receptionist for about 10 minutes, she was feeling me, by the way.
Sure.
So after I went out, I thought, I'll call it at night. So I went upstairs, I was like, good night, darling, whatever. So I went upstairs. I was walking in the corridor, and I was getting close to my room. I was just hearing noises. I was thinking to myself, am I just high? Like, what's going on?
You get paranoid?
And I was there, right, and also... And as I'm walking, I'm getting close to my door. So imagine my door's here, and then there's another door I'm walking towards, right? And
like a separation
next
of
door,
corridors?
Yeah, no, it was like there's one corridor, there's doors either side.
Yeah.
Okay,
Almost
put me
down.
You almost.
I'm basically next door to these people, right? And I'm hearing a noise here. I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? I'm getting close to my door, and I stop right to the door next door to mine, right? And I'm hearing screams, and I'm thinking, wait. Is someone getting hurt?
This is weird because I have another story about a similar scream. I'll tell you after.
But I realised the door's ajar. So it's not fully closed. And you know how hotel doors are pretty heavy. They're just closed, aren't they? Yeah. And I don't know why, but the doors are, I don't know, the foot stamp, whatever, Fawkes was in the door, but the door's ajar, right? So I'm thinking, that's why it's so loud. So I'm like, I kind of like move my head closer. I'm hearing this, I'm in Croydon, I'm in Croydon, London. I'm thinking someone's getting attacked.
You're in like a nice hotel, like a dodgy one.
I'm in like Traveller, just regular.
Oh, okay.
Regular. So I'm thinking to myself.
The schmegler.
So I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, like someone's getting attacked, like for real, but the way she's screaming, she's sounding hurt. So I'm like, oh shit, like I might have to like
call the police.
I might have to, like the doors are ajar. So I'm thinking I might have to
bust in there.
Yeah.
With a bat.
Yeah. So as I'm thinking to myself, like, do I do it?
Would you go in with a coat hanger?
Yeah, as I do it, I'm thinking to myself, like,
you actually going in?
No, I'm thinking to myself, should I do it? And then it stops, yeah. And I'm thinking,
she's dead.
Alright, it's gone. So I go back into my. It stops.
Wouldn't you think she's just died or something?
Probably, but I went back into my room, and then I was like, I was thinking to myself, sat down on the table like this.
It's jarring, isn't it?
Like, what the fuck was I hearing? So then I rolled myself another spliff to go back outside. So I'm like, I need to think this over. So I walk back out, yeah. Nothing's there still. Can't hear anything. So I'm thinking, alright, everything's calmed down. The door's closed, right? So, because I looked down, the door's closed. I'm like, okay. So I went back out, had a little smoke, chatted to the receptionist again. Yeah. And then I went back upstairs. As I'm getting closer, I'm hearing the noise again. I'm like, what is going on now? Like, what is this? So like,
were you like a bit paranoid, a bit scared?
No, at this point, I'm legit thinking it's actually the weed.
And the thing is, you can't when you hear things like this, it pushes you on edge. You can't relax.
Yeah. So I'm legit thinking this time it's actually the weed. I'm like, for fuck's sake, like, what's
in this?
It seems like every time I smoke, like, I'm getting this I'm hearing shit. So like, but the door's ajar again. I'm like, what? So the door's ajar, but it's a bit more wide open this time. But this time, I'm not just hearing the screams. I'm hearing this. I'm hearing.
Okay, so you know. And
I'm thinking to myself, hold up. I got my ear to the door, I'm like, hold up.
You got a cup on the ear, like.
And I was hearing this, and the girl was like,
And it stops.
No, keep going. Keep going.
Oh.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'll do this.
I respect that.
Hold up a minute. I knew that sound. And it's so loud. I'm like, she's like, I'm like, oh my God. I can't. But I was so frozen. I couldn't stop. I was still there. I'm like, I need to move. I should move right now. Like, why am I listening to this? Yeah.
Oh, imagine the CCTV footage of just.
Yeah.
Just leave outside.
But the doors are ajar. So I'm thinking to myself, what is this guy?
It's a jar. It's a jar.
It's open. And I'm thinking to myself, I gotta go. And as I'm walking to my door to close the door, I can just keep hearing it. Just keep clapping cheeks. I can keep hearing it. And then I go into my room and I sat there like, I was like this. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I've been in a hotel before, yeah, and I've smashed a lot of girls in a hotel.
I know what you mean. Did it make you feel a bit like, I want to like...
Honestly, I'm sat there, I'm thinking to myself, I'm actually pretty horny now. Yeah. But then I'm thinking to myself, I've smashed a lot of girls in hotels, right? And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Can people actually hear you fucking? Because I always think, it's a little bit of a myth, like when you're smashing a girl in a hotel and she's screaming and that, like, can someone next door or someone in the corridor actually hear you? Yeah, but
turns out how thick the walls are.
Exactly, but I'm actually there and I could hear everything.
I mean, the door was ajar, so
it made me legit.
It was ajar.
The door is ajar. You're right. But I was thinking to myself, but I'm thinking to myself like, this, honestly, like. The way she was screaming as well, like I thought she was being attacked, and then I hear the sound of cheeks clapping. I'm like, I'm dead ass wanted to join in. I'll be real with you guys.
Can I ask you?
I'm down bad, son. I wanted to join in. I wanted to bust in that door.
You finna make me act up.
I wanted to bust in the door, and be like, look.
That's literally the definition of you finna make me act up.
Listen,
they made you act up.
The door was ajar. It was like it was calling to me.
Did you peek the camera around like in the door?
Nah.
Use a selfie stick.
Yeah.
I would have walked in and be like, listen, the door's ajar. That tells me it's an invitation.
Wait, did you
that's an invitation.
Did you end up having a wank?
Nah, I didn't have a wank.
It would make you feel a bit too down.
I don't get me wrong. I was very horny. I was legit. I can't lie. I was thinking to myself in my head all night. I was just hearing sounds of cheeks clapping,
all night,
women screaming. I'm like, fuck. Like,
she was probably like that as well.
But as soon as I got home, I did ask her to wank. Trust me.
Really?
No bab.
You were thinking of that, were you?
I wasn't thinking of that, but it definitely was an incentive to me to be like, listen, I need to go home and I'll be wank, man.
Well, did you ever like this? Reminded me when you said that. Did you ever have you ever been in a situation where like you're not like you can have sex like it's not like you're a virgin or anything, like you might get a lot of girls or just have sex like when you want or whatever, but you'll be in a situation where you'll be at a party or you'll be staying around someone's like a friend's and their friend is having sex with a girl in the house and you can hear it. And does it ever make you feel a bit like, oh, why not me? Like, I had that when I went to Manchester, right? To see my...
when you were with no one was smashing God. You were with that Italian girl and you didn't get none.
No.
You didn't give it up to him, man. She was giving up the pussy to him, bro. No, damn.
Some girls are respectable like that. And anyway, this was another time. So I didn't care about that time because I was so out of it. I was so drunk. I couldn't do anything anyway. I just looked over and I was like, shit, what am I seeing right now?
He's making excuses for himself.
The slow finger was real.
Excuses.
No, this was another time. I was
in the mirror, everything was moving. Like that video you sent me. When that guy...
Yeah. I was like,
every time, bro, we do that, don't we? You know when you go in a house party, guys, you're in a house party, you go to the bathroom, you do that thing, you like, in the mirror, like, yeah.
Oh, do you know what I do? I just smile at myself, I'm like...
Do you remember when we were in the bathroom together that time, and I was filming, I forgot a minute,
Should we overlay the clip if you send it to me?
Yeah, I will, yeah. And you kept switching the light on and off.
Did I?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
At Met's house.
I don't remember. But no, this was when I went to Manchester, not a few weeks ago, or like a month ago maybe. And we were at like I say club, it was more like a Revs basically is like a club.
Yeah,
it's not. It was kind of like that, but it was like a bar. And I was with all Ben's like uni mates. Ben was off with his girlfriends, so I was with them. And then
She's kind of bad as well.
You haven't seen her, have you? Ben's girlfriend?
I saw that on Saturday, I remember. You were freewheeling.
Well, there you go.
You're freewheeling.
That's nice, isn't it? But no, so we left the place and we were walking back to obviously Ben's house because they all lived there, and this girl was with us. Now I chatted to her for a bit, but Ben was like, yeah, she's got a boyfriend, and I didn't want to be that guy, so I didn't pursue. And but I did flirt with her for a bit because I'm just kind of naturally like that. Like, I can't help it. If I see a good looking girl and we're talking, like, flirtation happens. And we were both being like that, but I wasn't going to do anything because I was like, nah, she's got a boyfriend, and again, I don't want to be that guy. But we get back to the house, and it's probably like 2 a.m. or something when we're all watching South Park in the front room and just like chatting and talking like 3 guys and her. And obviously she was going to stay around because I don't think she's from uni, like she's not from Manchester, so she was staying around a bit similar to me. And I was a bit drunk, so I was like, yeah, I was just, we were just all chatting. And but then she starts flirting with Ben's housemate, and I knew they weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. I knew he wasn't her boyfriend. Yeah. But they were flirting, and I was like, and then but I was flirting as well. So I just thought it was a nut that it was just like, it's just banter. But then, he's just chatting and that, and he's making jokes, they're flirting, and then he's like saying about sex or whatever, and then he's like taking a piss, and she's like yeah, I would like, I would fuck you basically. Yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, and it's kind of awkward for me and Ben's other mate, which kind of sat there like,
she's got a boyfriend, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Disgrace.
But then I was starting to think, well, maybe Ben was. Listen, I was starting to think maybe Ben just said that because he's jealous, or he didn't want me to get with her, or she was his mate and she didn't want me. He didn't want me to. So I was like, oh fuck, now he's fucked it for me, and she's gonna fuck him. Obviously, I wasn't gonna intervene then because they were a set thing then. And then obviously I went up to bed in Ben's bed. Ben was with his girlfriend, so I had Ben's bed all to myself. And I'm just led there. All of a sudden, I hear them shagging in his room. I was like, oh fuck! And then I told,
cheeks clapping.
I said to Ben the next day, but what I was gonna say is, it gave me that feeling like, oh, I wanted to do that. I wanted it to be me, man.
You can't do this to me.
You can't do this to me. I have nothing, not even that girl in my bed. No, I'm joking. But no, but it did make me feel like, it made me think like I could just hear it for like at least like. To be fair, they didn't go for very long, maybe like half an hour or something. But you couldn't hear him. You could just hear her like every now and then, like when they're more moany than like, it was more like that every now and then.
Yeah. It's very surreal, isn't it?
Well, I was just there like
you've been there in that
this
position.
should have been me.
It feels like
yeah, like if I had actually tried, like maybe, but I didn't. I shouldn't show interest really.
That's a perfect example of.
But I'm glad I didn't because she had a boyfriend.
That's a perfect example of the competition of man.
Man against man. Yeah. Man versus that's the caveman of today. Instinctives.
That's the perfect example of competition of man. One man gets to
dog eat dog world, man.
Multiply. The other man gets to sit in a cave.
Sticks or stones or whatever. Yeah. But I said to Ben about it the next day. I was like, yeah. So she had
a boyfriend.
I was like, she had sex with this guy, and Ben was like, yeah. Her boyfriend, she's like half or something. So he was like, when her boyfriend like lives. That's where he lives. So she's like, when she's over in England, she just goes on like a shagging spree.
Oh my days!
Yeah,
what a disgrace,
like,
little girl.
She is a nice girl. Like she seemed nice, but like you can't do that to somebody.
Nah, she's a
imagine if he knew. Then again, listen, maybe he's just the same as her, and they don't care.
Absolutely.
If that's the case, then
if they've got if they've got a mutual agreement, if that's what they do. But if you acting up and you cheating on,
if he doesn't know, that's actually mean. That's cruel.
She's a whore. Simple.
Well, I'd say don't say a word, but like
I would have said belongs to the streets over that.
Nah, she belongs to the highway, fam.
The M5,
the
M5, man, the M4. Nah, but yeah, that was gonna say about that. Now, is there anything else you guys want to say? Because there is one more thing that I have a screenshot of here because I did kind of want to say. But obviously, if you guys want to say something, jump in there, man.
I'm not fussed.
Jump in there, lads.
Did you see that video I sent you about they went to that shop? The skate video. It was on Instagram. I'm trying to think of that.
What about?
And I said, we all know Owen. Owen's just like this.
Erwin.
What was it?
No, that was the cat with the penis.
Bro, his penis is tiny,
Is it
man.
like a sausage?
How? Can you even fuck a girl like that with that?
Well, he's a cat, so he probably doesn't.
Oh wait. Yeah, do you see the new video of KSI and Logan? The new business partnership?
I watched the clip when they're in the van and the photo.
Should we try it on the pod for views?
They sell it in England or is it America?
Yeah, it's coming to Tesco in 2 weeks.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, we can do a taste test and then it get a bit of views, hopefully.
Yeah.
What is it?
What are you looking for? KSI and Logan Paul made a business together where they're selling like a drink. What? A bit like how Will Smith sells his drink, but it's like a good energy drink.
Yo.
What?
Wait.
What? What?
So anyway.
Oh, sorry. Where's that video? Sorry.
Basically, Luke follows an account which posts just that clip every single day.
Bro, yeah, it's just a. What's it called? The account is called Daily Norman Osborne says what?
But there's only 2.
Yeah,
I thought that was like
I think they're
100.
giving up. No, those accounts like. Oh wait, you're right actually.
It would be.
Wait, hold it up to the mic one more time.
It is. Look. Oh wait, it's only 2.
Wait, hold up to the mic. One more time.
What?
But click on the Reels button. It might be because they uploaded them all as Reels.
What?
Oh, and don't display it on the main.
Yeah.
No, that is what it is.
That is what it
It goes straight to the rules.
Yeah.
Where's the video I sent you then?
Oh, did you like that one? That was pretty funny.
Which one? Oh.
Not her. That.
It's cool as fuck.
Oh yeah, you sent this one.
I put it in a YouTube video because I thought it was quite funny. I just annoy, isn't it? I've watched it too many times to laugh now. Show it to the camera so people can see what you mean. This is like every guy at a party. Luke loves this video.
It's the legit.
I'll be in the mirror like.
Everyone's been there.
That's me in the mirror like doing stupid faces. I'm like. Yeah, the bridge toilets.
There's always a guy sat down in there, isn't there?
He goes, no spray, no lay.
Why is the aftershave?
No.
Someone answer that. Why is the aftershave in the toilets in the club?
No amani, no punani. No splash, no.
This one.
No splash, no gash.
This is the one I say. Ready?
Show the camera again. Wait a minute. Well, show the camera, people. Show the camera, man.
Oh shit. Yeah. Yo!
So many people like that.
We know a guy like this.
We know a few.
Yeah.
We know a few. Or just add the word raw.
If you know a guy and his name's Big O, yeah? He's just
But we love him though. We're not making fun. Like we love him.
We love him, bro.
We love him, yeah.
He's radical.
I mean, anyway, the last thing I want to say.
Yeah. Sorry.
Can we all like just turn our TikToks off now?
This is the last one I wanted to show you guys.
I show the camera though.
Alright.
The camera.
Check this one out, guys. He's called the real quick.
No, we're not taking the piss. He's doing
Look
his
at
thing.
him.
He's doing his
He looks
thing.
like a crow with the woods.
Listen, he's cool.
We're running out of time and we want to film
Sorry,
the
guys, sorry.
last segment.
Yeah.
To this vlog.
Alright, Cam's getting a bit anxious. He's not going to be able to get any Hot
I've
Wheels.
got the itch, man. I've had the itch for since last year. That's how long.
That's how I feel about McDonald's, mate. So, the last thing I want to say.
Sorry.
No, I can't. It's copyrighted.
Say.
Turn your phone off.
Sorry.
You absolute. It's
Damn! Guys, if you're watching
I'm
this,
running out.
you gotta hit us up.
Applications.
You gotta hit us. Listen, Senorita, please. Sorry. Alright, come on, let's do it. Come on, let's go.
How long's your final bit, Harry?
Don't know, mate. It depends.
On delay.
I'm gonna tell you guys something. So I made a comment on a video, right? It was about space and aliens.
Piano.
Do you want to?
What's the video?
Piano.
Where's the respect
What's
these
it
days?
called?
Running out of time.
What channel was it?
It was on Riddle.
Riddle, I love
No.
Riddle.
Was it?
Piano.
Yeah.
Was it Riddle or was it what
42.
if?
No, it was Riddle.
Yeah.
Riddle, yeah.
Or Elder. He does hashtag
It
Elder.
was about
Piano.
it was about colonization.
So anyway, it was just
yeah.
about aliens. No, it was 42. It was about the Roswell case. But basically,
Oh, fuck.
this is what I wasn't
I
talking
love
about
that
Roswell.
case.
I wasn't talking about Roswell, but I was talking about aliens, and I just made a comment, right? And I'm going to read it out to you. Basically, this is the reason I think we have not made contact with aliens, that we know of, because we probably have. But if we haven't, this is my reasoning. I said, I think a civilization with the same technologically advanced as us won't be able to go far enough to find us, because obviously we can't either, and they've got the same technology as us, and that's why we haven't found people the same advanced as us. I said, the ones that are advanced enough to see us and to travel far know better than to contact us, because as I said in a previous episode, we're just so technology, the opposite of advanced, that they think the best thing to do for us is to not contact us, like we don't contact tribes on islands. And then I said, The ones less advanced to us it's up to us to communicate with them if we can ever find them. But obviously we haven't yet, and that's why we haven't found them. And then I said, but then we'd also know better not to contact them as well, because just like we don't contact other tribes, we would be doing what the advanced civilizations do to us. We'd be like, we got to let them get on with their life. Like, it's not ethical to contact them, and that's why maybe we will not find the other life. And that's my reasoning of why we don't see all this civilization all around.
The biggest argument is that, like, we don't know what kind of illnesses that they can pass on to us.
Well, yeah.
And so forth, and what...
I remember we were saying about that in the other episode. But it's
I watched one as well. We were saying about, like, I can't remember what the actual the thing is called, like the theory of what it's called, like the technical name. But it's like a process of, like, us humans. We're built almost to, like, like if we see something we don't know, we're gonna be in natural defense mode. So it's like
fear of the unknown.
So it's like if someone enters let's say, for example, someone enters this is a video on YouTube as well. If someone enters like a national airspace and it's unauthorized and you don't know who it is, they're gonna get shot down. It's simple as that, because the chances of that could be carrying a nuke bomb and blow up the whole fucking city. Do you know what I mean? So imagine a alien species entering like we have
had footage of.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if they were,
I know, I just wanted to say,
if they were trying to make contact with us, whatever, as humans, you know what it'd be like. The chances of us being like, yeah, come over here, let's have a talk, are pretty slim. The fact we'll shoot a fucking airspace out of the sky is would we attack, or furthermore, would they, who have the same might have the same instincts, would they attack us before we attack them? Because then, by a case of, if they attack first and they got better technology, they're going to wipe us out completely. Yeah. But if we attack first, we eradicate the problem. So it's like we need to come to a meeting ground where...
Or you cause a bigger one.
So it's like, there's no meeting ground. How do you contact an alien and be like, hi guys, let's have a chat? There's no kind of like...
It's hard. And especially when you don't speak each other's language.
And who talks to them? There's not one guy on Earth where it's like, we'll talk for him.
And
we'll talk for all the people on Earth. Like, you can imagine like a 50, like, it'll have to be like some sort of like, it's very like, it's not like a movie where they'll land on Earth and they'll talk to like every government official in the world.
No, I think the only way that they will contact us is if we had a one world, government.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Because then it would be one rule for everyone rather than all these different nations. Because let's say...
advanced civilization would have that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because what if this advanced civilization partners up with... let's say America is the most powerful country, or China, because they're also like one of the most powerful countries. Well, then the other country is going to look at the other country like, well, why don't you partner with us?
Yeah.
Now we see them as a threat, and that can cause wars, and they don't want to fuck with us. You know what I mean? If they're going to come to us, if they're going to be peaceful towards us, they're going to be peaceful in the best possible way, and they're not going to risk causing strife between our own planet.
No.
So I think that's a big reason why. But then obviously you got the theory that we actually are in loads of contact with them just secretly, so who knows. But
I think if we were to like, let's say we were to make contact with another civilization, I don't think it would end well, honestly.
I think,
because look at the state of our government systems already. Like, I just don't feel like we'll go about it in the right way. We'll probably try and fucking take over their kind of... We've really proved as humans that's what we came to do anyway. A lot of the government officials took over places which didn't belong to them.
And it caused war and eventually caused peace, but there was hundreds of years
but they stole, like places like America doesn't belong to like...
No.
Do you know what I mean?
There's peace there now, but there was a lot of war to get it.
But they colonised it. They took it from people and then they made it theirs. So what's the saying? Like,
why wouldn't we? Or we wouldn't do that
exactly. Why wouldn't the government go to... Imagine if they found another place just like Earth, but it was another civilization. Maybe they're weaker than us, and they do, but you have the same kind of like whatever technology. We would definitely fucking take it. That's simple as that.
I think certain countries...
There's no way we'll be like that.
I feel like countries like who are powerful, like China would. So that's the thing. Different countries would go do different things, but then it would give the whole planet a bad name.
They'll colonize it. Like, it would be Mars. Like, how do you... They were like, we pretty much claimed Mars as ours already. But I guess Earth as a whole, whatever. Because we're trying to colonize it by what, 2050, whatever the fucking date is, or Elon Musk.
2030 or something. Or...
Elon Musk said like 2025, didn't he?
Yeah, but well, who knows? Who knows? Anything's possible.
Because it is obviously like, it's possible to get there already, but I mean, like,
to get there, it would be strenuous on the
person. It takes
like
5 months to get there, which is pretty long.
Yeah. And one thing I
would you go?
Well, at the moment, it's a one-way trip, isn't it? So I wouldn't want to live out the rest of my life on Mars. But if I could go back...
Man, there's new labyrinth on Mars, so...
There's no second bridge on Mars. We could establish a third bridge on Mars. Anti-gravity club. But yeah, no. So the other thing I was going to say... which
female aliens.
Yeah,
baby!
3 boobs.
You know, I'll wear a top saying, with an alien head, like a UFO. I'll be like, look!
Aliens only. Hot aliens only. Alien chicks.
I got your cousin on me, baby.
Alien chicks only. No, but I just had the idea. Obviously, this is a crazy theory. It's not even a theory. It's just a cool idea to think about. So I was just thinking last night after I watched that video, and I was just imagining, you know, there's all these stories of people went missing, and they think it was due to aliens abducting them, and the person never came back. Imagine, again, it's just an idea. We never will know. But imagine how cool it would be if the idea that this alien civilization did, in fact, kidnap or got a human willingly to go with them to their planet, and they did that with over many years with many different humans, and maybe there's actually a civilization of humans that have then had children on their own planet.
Exactly.
They came from here, they're over there, and then over thousands of years they forget how they got there, and they just think they're part. That could be how we got here.
Exactly. And what's the same video? Remember on Netflix about the civilization on Earth, whatever, like how we came. Remember about the aliens, about interbreeding with on Earth with like females, whatever, and being that missing link or gene what became us pretty much. You know what I mean? And like, so it's like, if it was a case of like, it's not too far-fetched to think like that's where like Darwin's theories, like it has its flaws and stuff. That's why it's only a theory. But like, if there was like, if we believe in aliens, then why come not we believe like aliens were the missing link to create us, or whatever the case is?
Like interfered with the evolution.
Yeah,
up,
exactly.
Maybe.
Interfered or had
tampered in some way to make it go the way they wanted the evolution to go.
Because that was a story I was reading, not reading, but it was like they were telling a story on the program. It was like, it's a very ancient story of the Greek. Like, take this as you will, but like, remember, like, I can't remember the Greek god's called. I think it's like Ares. No, not Ares. It's like a female. No, it's like a male god, like who makes women fall in love with him. I can't remember what it's called.
No,
it's like the god of love or whatever his name is.
There's Zeus, Loki.
Aphrodite.
No, Loki's Loki. I'm an idiot. Loki's the Norse god.
Yeah, I'm talking about Greek god.
I know. I wasn't thinking straight.
Cupid. I think it might be Cupid, but it's the Greek. It's the Greek. Okay, it's the Greek god who makes women. Eros, I think his name is. He makes women fall in love with him, no matter what, okay?
Ares is a god of something.
Yeah,
so
okay.
It might be.
But I'm saying, this god right here is the god of love, right? The Greek god of love, whatever. And the story is like, he came down to Earth and had sex with a lot of women, obviously. And
as you do. And
had multiple children or whatever. And
multiple bastards.
Whatever, yeah? And obviously, like, it was like, what's the word? It's not permitted to interbreed with another species.
It was forbidden.
Forbidden, yeah,
in the
exactly. But like, basically, what the story's saying is like, because it's been written down for like millennia, whatever, you know what the Greek mythology is like. They're saying is like, if it was written in like modern times, it would probably be like, this person was an alien who came down, like not a god, but it's like an alien that came down, who was seen as a god, and
over years the
and
story changes.
And like his genes all over, you know what I mean? And
a lot of people say about the Bible as well.
Exactly. So
like God came down and made a random virgin pregnant. You know what I mean? Like, or an angel came down or whatever.
Yeah, but modern day would write it an alien or whatever, and also species came down.
And also, like, as we've gone through the years, and we've got sci-fi, we got these, and we learn more about space. We have our own ideas about aliens, but back in these, you know, these times like BC, you know, before Christ, or like around those times, or even medieval times, or whatever, when people didn't really understand space, they thought everything revolved around them.
But some of them did.
Yeah, of course. But when it was widely known that was not widely known, you know, if people did see aliens, they wouldn't even have the slightest idea about space or planets. So how are they going to understand what an alien is? So they are going to think it's God or an angel. Yeah. They're going to put what their mind can comprehend. They're going to try and comprehend it, but the human mind could not comprehend it. So they came up with these symbols.
Yeah, simple ways to simplify it.
Yeah, and if they're trying to draw it, they're going to draw it from memory, and it could be different.
Yeah,
and,
but the thing is as well, like, you know how like ancient civilization, like in Egypt, or whatever, like almost at the dawn of man, pretty much. Like these civilizations somehow knew about the whole cosmos, how different planetary systems were placed. And it's like, how the hell? That's why I say to myself, like
the Mayans, I think.
There's no way. There's no way these people were running around with sticks and stones, because they obviously had some sort of technology to know about all the planetary systems, which is
or they were provided with the knowledge,
or they were provided with the knowledge,
left with the knowledge. Yeah, you've got to wonder how they could be so advanced, and then there'll be so many other civilizations afterwards that even are not. Yeah, like we can't
even build the pyramids today.
Not in the same way.
No.
Well, maybe with today's technology of cranes and that we could.
But even then, they said it will take years. But they managed to build. And you said with the technology we have, they apparently were able to use what people say like ropes and shit.
Like
do you know how heavy like
and
that
also
single brick is?
That had no. I mean, they probably fed well if they were building.
And the bricks they used were like thousands of miles away.
They did
especially
to transfer.
And they talked about like how many people you'd have to carry the stick.
Yeah, exactly.
And they ran the maths.
I saw that.
And it was like, the person would have to be like 7'2" to be able to carry.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's even like archaeological digs of like giants, isn't there? Have you seen that one on Riddle?
Well, they weren't the ones we found. Like, we've never found like a full skeleton of like a giant. We found full skeletons of humans that were actually really tall.
Yeah, but they found like bones and femurs and shit, which are like and different. But it's very put into like a place where they don't want you to know about it, isn't it? It's very much like put to the side, because if you ever found out that humans were like, there was a time period where humans were giants, it doesn't.
Or they weren't humans.
They were like some species. I don't think
cavemen. There was. I don't think
they'll be like it'll go down well, because it kind of defeats like the whole theory of what we've been told in school.
Well, last year they found that skull. That proves
skullduggery.
There was a subspecies of humans that were like looked different to us, but were still a type of human.
Yeah, there's tons and especially like with cavemen, there was Neanderthal. There was all the I can't remember any more names, but there was more than just Neanderthal and Homo sapien or sapien, whatever. There was loads, and it's like like with it's funny, like in lots of like fantasy stuff, you got the orcs, you got the humans, you got the elves. It was like that, but obviously we did look quite similar. Like we would have pointy ears, but you know what I'm saying? Like it was many different species of humanoids, I suppose. There was known to
even the way the Greek, the Egyptians wrote about humans, but like some of them had like a lion head, or how some of they would always write like about like what's Anubis, him, the Greek, the Greek, the Egyptian wolf, whatever, with the human body, but the wolf head. It's like they wrote a lot about like it's almost as though like
that could have been more symbolic to like how they like put traits in.
Of course,
make them like a wolf or whatever. But I know what you're saying though. I know, Cam, you're getting a bit fidgety there. I keep seeing you look at the time. We'll wrap it up. Don't worry.
The thing is though, like we got to remember, who's to say a civilization didn't get to a point where we are today, plus even more advanced, and they have been wiped out. Well, they have been wiped out.
Well, one thing I say, right? At night time, I'm looking at the sky now, but you can't see. But at night time, you see every star.
Yeah.
Every star, that is a system of planets all around that. And are you telling me there's a million stars in the sky that I cannot count? You're telling me there's no life in one of these? You know what I mean?
One of them, yeah.
If we're one of these stars, if we go to one of those stars and look down at Earth and we see that star, which is our sun, and we know we're there.
Yeah.
Well, of course there's going to be somebody there. Of course there is. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some systems that are now dead and gone, and that because it's obviously travels of light years.
Is
they're all around us.
All the stars we're looking at are already dead.
I know, but the fact that there was probably life there, you know what I mean? And also,
even if there
could be a new star in its place that just hasn't travelled, the light hasn't travelled to us yet, where there is life there.
Even if there was life, say there was life on Mars, do you really believe the government will come out and tell you this?
Exactly. They're not going to tell us, because I think we've said this before, the panic that would ensue in our civilization, like fully religious people that only believe in us and no aliens. Like there's a lot of people, I know a lot of people would then, they'd move the goalposts back and they say, oh well, now there's a reason for this, but a lot of them would just kill
them. That's what they were saying.
Exactly. But a lot of them a lot of Christians and a lot of just people that don't want to believe or whatever, a lot of people, there'll be riots, I believe. There'll be people committing suicide, especially religious people, as I said. Like, there could be war. Like, it's so sad that we are such an unevolved species that everything scares us, you know what I mean? But it's the truth. That's what it would be.
But I think the truth is out there already. I just feel like...
I mean, you can just look up and you have the proof, in my opinion. You see all those stars, that's enough proof for me that obviously there's going to be people there. Do you know what I mean? You know, I think it's absurd to think that there's nobody else in all those stars somewhere in those systems, you know what I mean?
We're talking about a billion, like, the size, we can't even comprehend how big the universe is. So you got to think, we're in a sandbox, okay? Imagine, like, if you drop a little grain of sand in a sandbox. That's what we are. You're not going to find that grain of sand again. Do you know what I mean? That's how big the universe is. It's like, it's so... And you're really thinking, like, we're the only species where life's only obtainable.
Oh, that's a good analogy, can I say?
If you only believe in the way that life was created, where it's just to do with science and Big Bang and things like that, what's to say none of that didn't happen in another universe or another galaxy? It's just like...
And one thing I'll add to that with is... on a beach of sand, as you said, a lot of the time you find like a seashell maybe just buried under the sand. And if you find a seashell as a kid or whatever under the sand, you don't look at that and think, well, this is probably the only seashell on this entire beach of the entire coastline. No. You know there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of seashells all across. And I feel like it's the same thing. The sand is like space and all the stars, with all these planets around. Yeah. There's going to be life on these planets. We're not the only ones because... You know, it makes literally zero sense for us to be the only ones. And I know you have to have perfect conditions, but if the universe is that big and we are proof of you can have perfect conditions for life, and obviously there's going to be
billions of
quintillions of perfect condition planets,
even better than what conditions.
I'm sure there's another sort of. You know, we're in that Goldilocks zone, as I say, but I'm sure in some systems...
The Goldilocks zone.
That's what they call it. That's what they call it. When it's the perfect conditions for our type of life. Yeah. But also...
You know shit.
Yeah, I like learning.
Do you believe in the moon landing?
No, that's a hard one. I think I think I lean more towards no, but
same.
Yeah. But can I quickly finish one more thing that I was going to say?
We can talk about that next time.
Yeah. We'll move the moon landing is our next episode, episode 11. But I'll just finish off what I was going to say then. So a lot of scientists, they see, life will only come about with Goldilocks conditions, all that. Yeah, that's based off of what we understand as life. Yeah. We only understand human life with water. They think, you only need water.
And we don't even understand this. We don't even understand our own, like... We don't even understand our own, so why are we trying to find out something else? Like,
and what I'm saying is, you know, I'm sure there's life out there which can grow from something completely different to water, something not in a Goldilocks zone, just a different form of life. Sorry, I breathed in dust. But you know what I mean? Sorry. But... You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure in the other side of the universe, it's a completely different condition to create life.
What would Darwin say about this? We're sat opposites right now.
He'd go,
"You're wrong!"
He'd ponder his thoughts and he'd say, quite satisfactory.
Impressive.
Quite intriguing.
Impressive.
And then he'd say,
"You're wrong, though." My theory only.
No, he'd say, "I respect that." That's what he would say. Anyway, should we wrap it up?
It's just a theory, Darwin! It's just a theory!
I go, think! Do you ever think? Anyway, that's what I'm confident on. Shouting.
It's my theory now.
And the last words I would give to you guys is think! Think! Anyway, thank you guys for watching.
Like that advert. Remember that advert back in the day of the drinking, like drink drive, and it would be like, think. You would something like
I never.
You would.
No, I don't show. Show us after the episode. I'll wrap it up while he gets it up or something. Thank you for watching the episode 10 of Breeze. The 10th episode is a milestone. That's great. We've managed to hit the 10th episode. Now here, it's to episode 20. So I'm sure we'll make it.
It was that. Think.
Oh, that's road safety.
Yeah, that was it. Think.
Yeah. Show the camera. Just
look left,
hold it up.
Right,
think.
I did think that, but I wasn't.
That's gonna be on together.
Yeah, it was.
Think!
Think road safety. Look left, look right.
Did I? No, it didn't. Yeah. Anyway, I haven't said subscribe yet. Chill out.
Happy New Year, guys.
Alright, Cam's gone.
I've got that.
He's so impatient.
This has taken so long. This is the longest podcast we recorded.
No, we did a 2-hour once.
2022, baby.
So anyway, subscribe if you want to see more just like this, and you don't miss a video when we upload. Check out a video I posted on Bree's podcast. I tried to get views with it, didn't really work. I don't really care. It's a fun video. Check it out. It's about EDP. Did you guys watch it?
I saw a little bit of it.
Yeah.
That fat fuck. Where's he at now?
In prison, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what find out in the video. Find out in the video.
Working at Lyft.
Yeah. Anyway, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, do all that good stuff. Follow us on subscribe to the Clips channel, subscribe to the Highlights channel. If you watch us,
send some nudes. Joking.
Don't. We don't want them. I don't want your nudes. God, shut the fuck up, man. I'm sorry. And the last thing I'll say, because I always say a funny, weird thing, is I wouldn't want nudes from anyone, but if I'm getting them from you, I'd be watching them all day.
I heard you got nudes from ED45.
See you in a bit.
Sweet Jesus Christ.
That was fun. It was only an hour and a half.